Hi, and welcome to the Synergy Sky Suite video tutorial series. I'm Nick Doyle, the Senior Sales Engineer with Synergy Sky in the Asia Pacific region, and in this video we're going to look at additional configuration information. Now, this is the fifth and final section of this video tutorial series. For an overview of the entire series, I highly recommend you have a look at the Introduction to the Synergy Sky Suite tutorial if you've not done so already. So in this video, we're going to have a look at all the different configurations we can do as a very quick overview. So all the things by the SSH menu with manual software upgrades, advanced setup for changing passwords, support menu configuration, backup and restore as well as via the web browser, an overview of all sections, look at the config tool, software update, configuration versions, bulk import of rooms, export of configuration, resyncing of rooms, and also how to generate logs. So, as a reminder, all the information covered in these video tutorials is available at our support website at support.synergysky.com. And here you'll get more detailed documentation and configuration information, as well as additional resources and troubleshooting tools and assistance. Now, with that, let's get into it. Okay, so let's go through this menu system. So I've logged in via SSH to my Synergy Sky Suite appliance, and we've gone through configure network and installing the appliance previously. Manual software upgrades. Now, when I click on this, I get told there's no package found in /home/admin/updates. So to do the manual upgrade, you will need to download the update package and then SFTP it onto the server directly in order for this to take place. Although we do recommend using the online capability, which we'll go through later on in this video. Advanced setup menu. So from here, the main things to look at is we can disable the firewall on the appliance itself. This is to do some troubleshooting. I'd recommend not doing that. But this is where we can change the appliance password and the admin at localhost password so that you can secure it within your own domain. Support menu. Now, you'll be directed by support sales engineers or support staff in order to look at some of this. If you are experiencing issues, you can create a support log bundle file from here, but you can also do it from the web interface. But we can actually investigate how services are running as well from this menu. Backup and restore. So we can do a backup and restore of the database, again using SFTP to grab those files or put those files back on the server. And we can also configure failover and standby servers for redundant HA solutions. And then we can just restart the server as well from this interface. So nice and simple. So with that, I'm going to move us over to the web portal. Okay, so we're now in the web portal, and I'm going to go to Synergy Config. The license validation we've already looked at previously. What we haven't looked at is the certificate generation, if that is required within your network. We also have the integration settings, which we've briefly looked at, where we configure calendar connectors, cloud solutions, recording solutions, our IoT capabilities, Cisco WebEx interop, as well as Expressway, and configure that all within here with the API connectors as to what we want from those services. Rooms we've covered previously, video systems we've covered. However, the being able to replace all passwords on a system where if you're in an organization that requires passwords to be updated every 30 or 90 days, this can be done across the endpoints as well from this interface. Sensors we've covered, and we can also do search for what sensors we have, both Cisco and our IoT sensors. API settings. So this one is important for poly endpoints where we need to act as a Exchange Web Services emulator. This is where this is enabled, and we can configure that capability. Within network, we have proxy settings and where we can define what we need to use the proxy for. Now this is separate to the one within the SSH menu, which is there in order for access to license and upgrade servers. This is for proxy for everything else that's required. Now, notifications. So at the moment, as an admin, I can be notified of endpoint connection problems, date time problems, license warnings, and software upgrades. If I want to add other people, I can add them via a semicolon or just a comma and add them to the list, and they will receive emails as well. Tags. You can create your own custom tags to help identify endpoints and locations and group them together. So I've created a Brisbane tag, a single huddle space room type, and those can be further assigned within the endpoint and room configuration. Okay, so join, we've looked at matching rules. In conference settings, we can set how long before a meeting starts till you get the notification on screen. So I've currently got mine set at 5 minutes before a meeting starts. It comes up to say ready to join. If you have dial out capabilities, you can set how many times the CMS or PEXIP server tries to dial out to endpoints and delayed between each of those dials. End of conference warning. So being able to publish on screen a notification to say your call's about to finish. I have configured mine to say this meeting is scheduled to end in so many minutes, and I have warnings at 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and 1 minute. And the conference ending text to say the scheduled meeting time has passed, and that will get displayed on screen. What I also have set is when these messages show up, they will show as a user on CMS and PEXIP, and so that we know what they are, it'll come up and report itself as meeting warning. VMR pools, we can create a scheduled pool of resources here in order to create dynamic VMRs on CMS and on PEXIP. We have our default policy for unbooking here. So for my demo environment, I've got a warning that after 2 minutes, it will check to see if there's anybody in the room for presence, and after 3 minutes, it will 3 minutes after that, it will actually look to debook the room. And email templates. So this is where you can create your custom email templates. If I had a look at an external invite, this is how it's currently looking as a default, but this is all customizable, and you can edit the text and change colors and add your own flair to these as well. So under the control configuration, we have authentication types. So we can use basic, OAuth, or none. Basic is the default. And here you can configure with OAuth your domain and all other required information for that authentication method. We also have filtered domains. So if you have an executive group that have their own special domain that you don't want to be listed in control, you can actually add them here, and those domains won't show up within control. And then analyze, we can change the map settings. So this is for carbon emissions and return on investment as to distances traveled, what classifies as a meeting. But in the report settings, this is where we can set how many hours a workday is, how many workdays per year on average, room cost per hour as a baseline, and what time zone we're in. Finally, we have the config tool. So we have software updates. Now this is the preferred method to updating the system. If there is a no proxy required or a proxy required for the upgrade server, it is highly recommended that that be put in place so that you can just click on a button here and when a new version is available, and it will update rather than having to download the package, manually transfer it across, and then run the installer. Configuration versions. So this is where we publish our configurations. We've done this in previous videos and make sure that everything is running at the latest configuration ID. Database. So if we want to import rooms and video systems, we can do it here. We do have a import sheet that can be used to do that in CSV. We can export the configuration or essentially to create a backup of everything, including license configuration. And we can also import that back into another system if required for troubleshooting. In advanced, we can resync selected rooms or all rooms to make sure that everything in the environment is working as it should be. And logs. Now, creating a complete log bundle is preferable, but you may be asked for just specific log bundles. So ask your support engineer who's assisting you as to what you actually require to send, and you can create a small log bundle of just the services we need to look at. When this is complete, I'll actually run one now. It will create a web link for me to be able to then download that package and have it ready to send on to your service provider or to Synergy Sky support in order to assist. There we go, it's created the log bundle and that's now downloaded for me to use. So that is everything. I hope that clears up any queries or understanding of what is there. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.